Madam Chairman, excuse me. Mr. Kirsting, well, first of all, I support all four of the bills. In fact, I'm a co-sponsor of all four of the bills, including yours, Madam Chairman. But Mr. Kirsting, Oklahoma is, you may have talked about this before. We're competing with the Senate Armed Services Committee right now, but I am concerned about this because we're really a NASCAR state. And Love's Travel Shops. Now, Love's Travel Shops is the largest family-owned truck stop in America. I remember when they first started, and they're in Oklahoma. In fact, they're in my office this last week. And they're the primary sponsor of the NASCAR number 34 car that's driven by Landon Castle. We know the language like the EPA has considered making those who are involved in, it's made those involved in the racing industry nervous. Opponents of the RPM bill and the Obama EPA claim they aren't going to go after individuals or NASCAR, and that there is nothing to worry about. And we just heard Mr. Walk say essentially that same thing. But the EPA's language makes it possible for them to do so, don't you think?
And the current EPA interpretation of the law renders any conversion activity illegal. Whether you're a business involved in converting that certified vehicle to use in motorsports, or you're an individual involved in that, it's an activity that's deemed illegal now. Similar to your constituent, I hear from our SEMA member companies, they're quite concerned. These are small businesses. They are in a position right now working under a cloud of illegality. They are hesitant in moving forward, and they need a resolution to this.
So you're familiar with Love's?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'd say that what you just now said, your observation is correct, because there are all kinds of things in the Oklahoma media, just because they're looking for something to write, that they could be on that border. And so it's bad for them.
For certain. A point was raised about this matter of there being a loophole or purpose, or that the matter of intent somehow in this bill would create a new enforcement standard. I want to make very clear that the language of the RPM Act is actually drawn. It reflects language that's in this section of the Clean Air Act for other exemptions. The word purpose is in the law currently, and very importantly, the word intent is in the prohibition language currently. I think Mr. Walk raised the Casper case in his written testimony. The Casper case is a great example, and there are others, where a manufacturer of a product made a claim that the product is intended, in that case, for off-road use only. Others might say for race use only. That use of the word intent or purpose, they're interchangeable here, is not a shield against enforcement. And in fact, EPA has successfully enforced against those who claim my intention was for this product to be a race use product or an off-road product. There is no loophole. Illegality is illegality. If that product ends up as a street tamper, EPA has the enforcement authority to go after it, and they do so successfully.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and I appreciate it. I know that concern is there. Mr. Henry, I am concerned about the impact of the EPA's MAC, that's a Maximum Achievable Control Technology. The rule that would have the brick industry in Oklahoma really concerned. Now, you're familiar with Oklahoma's brick industry?
Yes.
Yeah, they're all small. We don't have the giants. They're small businesses, they're family-owned businesses, and the kind that, we really encourage. Now, we've got 1,400 people employed in that industry, and most of the companies are very small, very similar to yours.
Yes.
The issue reminds me of the EPA's Mercury rule that the Supreme Court overturned in 2015 because the agency did not take the costs of the rule into account, and that's required by law that they do that. So I think we're looking at the same things here. Ultimately, the EPA has not been concerned about losing, since the industry had already made the investments to comply with the illegal rule because the courts didn't stay the rule. Opponents of this bill, that the courts are properly venued for the issue, but as seen with the EPA's mercury rule, stays do not always happen. Was there a stay of the rule in the original case against the 2003 rule, Mr. Henry?
Not to my knowledge, no. We had to be in compliance by '06.
Yeah.
The rule was vacated in '07, so we had spent, in our case, $1.5 million to comply with the rule that vanished a year later.
Just your company?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any ideas what the whole industry
I can get that number for you offhand. I do not.
Yeah, that's for the record. Let's do that because I need that for my material. Thank you, Madam Chairman.